Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello. Sorry, I was a little delayed. I was looking at the thing in the corner. Go ahead.
The thing in the corner?
What's the worst activity you tolerate if you could do it without a mask? I mean, like real life before this time last year?
I don't know. Anime cons. Anime cons are the worst activity you'd tolerate. No. Actually, anime cons are a lot of fun. Anime cons got canceled this year. It's not just anime cons, but also comic conventions. Any social gathering. Basically, everything ground to a halt. And there was this interesting article out on Vice today talking about anime cons changing culture, but COVID could end them, or at least end a lot of them.
Well, I'm not surprised by this because there was frankly too many.
Yeah, there were. I mean, we used to do the con scene. I think we've talked about it before. For years, we did webcomics, did Disney comics, did some other stuff, and we did anime cons, we did comic book conventions.
Back before they hated us.
Back before
everybody hated us. We used to be guests at these things all the time.
Yeah, we did.
And we used to speak about how to do comics and all this other thing, all this other stuff.
Podcasting and
yes,
all that. Yeah,
but now I don't think we're going to be invited anytime soon to any because we're supposedly we're horrible people.
We're awful people.
They keep labeling us all wrong, but whatever. It's okay. It's okay when they label.
They keep labeling us all right. Am I right? Yeah. So, this was interesting. This is talking about Otakon. Otakon, which started in Pennsylvania, and Otakon saying, "Hey, this is the first time we've ever had to cancel, and now news outlets are wondering whether or not these cons, or some of them, are going to even come back."
Well, a lot of them was the first time they ever had to cancel. And we saw, and I keep getting pushed back. Like I know they pushed back MegaCon in Orlando again. Yeah. Or they keep canceling or pushing things back, and that's what I think they canceled it, or I don't remember if they canceled, push it back, but they did something with MegaCon. I just thought the other day, so they just keep changing stuff. I know ones we were supposed to be doing last year got canceled. They're moving it to this year, but I'm waiting for them to get shuffled around again.
I think they're going to get canceled again. This kind of changes the whole dynamic of I guess making a living in that scene, because a lot of people, they make most of their money during the summer doing all the comics.
Right. I mean, I'm not talking just like voice actors and celebrities that go around doing the autographs. We're talking about a lot of people that are on Artist Alley or, creators, artists, people that make they make their money doing the conventions. And, you can sell stuff online and Etsy and stuff like that. But most of it's going to come from these events. And then they couldn't go to the events, so that they were like really hurting.
Yeah. And some of them, they go year to year, so they don't have the money to come back. So we're going to talk about this article a little bit and maybe muse about conventions. I also want to pull this up. I thought it was pretty interesting. Taiwan CDC turns diseases into anime characters, including COVID-19. So COVID-19 has its own avatar.
Well, at least they're cute.
We'll pull these up. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 174,000 subs.
Woo!
Thank you for the support. We do talk about anime. We talk about animation, comic books, whatever interests us. We did work in and around the comic book industry and the animation industries for years. We did a lot of conventions. It was, for a while, one of the biggest parts of our income. Mm-hmm. And it's gone. It's been snapped away.
That's why I said I understand, because we've been there. And here's the thing too. These anime conventions, not just anime conventions, pop culture conventions, Comic Cons, whatever. Sometimes they charge ridiculous prices for these tables too. Mm. And then they were canceling, and a lot of them weren't giving your money back. Some might have, but a lot of them weren't. But they were already charging ridiculous amounts of money, and when it was oversaturated anyway. Yeah. And now I'm like, since they had to cancel, if they survive, are they going to charge more money? Are they going to charge less money? I wonder how that's going to work, because now there's less competition, so maybe they can charge more money, but people aren't going to have the money. So I wonder how that's going to play into it, or ticket prices or whatever. I'm wondering how that's going to go.
Yeah, what's interesting is they talk about the history of Otakon, how it started in the 90s in Pennsylvania, and how back in the day, and this is true, you go to anime conventions, and a lot of times, if you wanted to watch certain anime, you had to go to a con, you had to find somebody with bootleg tape, you'd trade, you'd go to viewings. I picked up, I'm ashamed to admit, but I picked up a ton of bootleg anime on VHS at conventions back in the 90s, because a lot of that stuff you couldn't get in the US. Yeah. But they're talking about, it's kind of a 1-2 punch, because the first punch against the con scene is the fact that COVID shut them down.
Right, because it's a very social event. You're like right on top of each other. Especially when you're an artist alley and all the cosplayers want to take pictures in front of your table.
Sometimes literally right on top of each other.
Yeah, we've been there and seen that too.
Take place in a hotel.
Yeah, dark corners, or where you see people. But yeah, like you're it's nuts to butts. You're like right up against everybody. If you're interacting with customers, you're right in each other's faces. Mm-hmm. It's a very personal type,
close-knit event.
Yeah.
The other punch is the fact that the purpose of cons at first, at least anime cons at first, was to get anime that you couldn't get anywhere else, and to get merchandise that you couldn't get anywhere else. And they talk about how, with Crunchyroll, selling for, a little over $1 billion to Sony, right now, like everything that you could buy at an anime convention is a click away. You can just watch streaming anime. You can buy the clothing.
Oh
from
yeah,
the
you
websites.
can go to Hot Topic, you can go to Box Lunch, you can go to these places and get the same stuff. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like it was special. It's not so special anymore. You can just get it wherever.
And we talked about this with comic book conventions. We've been talking about as Geeky points out, her Sailor Moon.
I'm wearing a Sailor Moon Spirit jersey.
I got you that.
You did. I love it. I wear it all the time.
But we talked about this with other cons. They tried to transition into digital events, and they did not do well. New York Comic Con did not do well.
Terrible.
San Diego did not do well. Meanwhile, there are pop culture channels like ours that are actually getting more hits than a lot of these official YouTube channels.
Like you said, I think the part of the problem is when you have a convention, it is an experience. It's an event, but it's an experience, and it's not one that it's definitely not the same. If you're just, if you're not actually physically there, because you're not, seeing all the costumes and you're not getting all the interaction, you're not talking to other fans, it's not like it is when you can physically be there. So of course they're going to take a hit if they do them virtually. I don't think that's going to be an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
No. Well, here's what prompted this article. Otakon, which again, Otakon is a very well-known convention. They actually talked about Otakon being mentioned in Metal Gear Solid, which is true. They named a character Otakon. But it said that the future of the convention is in danger. Put simply, this is coming from Brooke Zerlout, the president of Otacorp. Put simply, in the next few months, we will have to make a decision to continue planning for Otakon 2021 or potentially close our doors
and I'm
forever.
Sure they're not the only ones. 100%.
They're not. Yeah, I think a lot of these cons aren't going to come back. And same with comic book conventions. They were very much year to year. There were way too many of them.
That's just it. There was already way too many of them.
Yeah.
I don't think they were all. I mean, some of them were really busy because they were more famous, like Otakon or whatever. But there were so many on top of each other. Like I know just where we're at in PA, I can name a whole bunch off the top of my head that are like within this area or within like a few hours of this area, and there's just too many. I personally like the smaller ones better because then you actually sold more if you were selling and stuff because there was less competition. Mm-hmm. But the cost to go and set up or the cost to get into these things keep going through the roof, and it just that some were surviving and others weren't because they were just tramping all over each other.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. They're talking about, comic conventions canceling too. And with anime cons, they said, in general, anime cons are struggling to schedule for 2021. Nobody knows what's going to happen. That's true.
Well, not just that, they're going to run into problems with other people trying to schedule at the same time, the same places.
Mm-hmm. According to convention news website Anime Cons, of the 63 conventions scheduled between now and the end of April, over 20 have either been postponed or outright canceled.
I expect more.
A few have pivoted to an online-only model. This is kind of what the future is going to be.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Not for cons, but I think for people who want to sell their stuff. It's basically you're going to have some kind of an online presence.
I don't think, you do, but I don't think it's going to work as well. Because I'll tell you what, how many times, and you guys listening, do you go to a convention and you see something, and because it's in your face and you're excited to be there and you're touching it, you want to buy it? Because if people touch things, they're more likely to buy things. Well, you can't touch things right now, obviously. I just think that people are going to be more likely to buy something if they can see it in front of them, see the size, see how it's made, see the quality. Then they're going to be wanting to spend the same amount of money plus shipping.
Yeah, that's true.
On the internet. Because we used to go to these cons anyway. So the prices you see for this stuff, it was like, damn, but people pay it because they're right there. They had waited, they got home, they could have got it cheaper someplace else. But it's in front of them, they're excited, they get caught up in it, and they just want to buy stuff. That's why they save their money to go to these things. So I think that's not gonna translate as well, I don't think.
No, I think you're right. I think a lot of it's impulse buy. I mean, I've literally seen people at cons walk around with fistfuls of money. Mm-hmm. They're like, I have to buy something before I leave. So it's kind of like a souvenir. But they're not like actively going to a con a lot of times to buy anything specific, because even in recent years, a lot of stuff you could buy it online, buy it cheaper online. So everything is going to change. And as people who used to make a living, or a good portion of our living from conventions, because let's be honest, working in comics, very few people can only work in comics getting paid a page rate. You have to do cons, you have to sell prints, you have to do all this other stuff, commissions and all that. I don't know what the long-term impact is going to be, because, we already saw that people were freaking out on Twitter about, the comic books getting canceled, a lot of comics getting canceled, workloads being cut back, and now they're losing convention season too.
Yeah. It's just not good. I mean, it's going to thin out the herd for sure.
Yeah.
But, the ones that can't survive are going to survive. But even big ones like Otakon might not survive. So it's going to be interesting how it's done. I was just thinking to myself, the only one we had scheduled for last year, we had one convention scheduled for last year, and we are still scheduled for it this year. Now, we weren't guests. We were just going to go to set up. And that's in June, so I don't know how that's going to go. That might get shifted or canceled or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still debating if we have time to go. I'm kind of almost afraid to go. So,
yeah.
We'll see. Not about COVID.
We haven't been to, I'll be honest, we haven't done a convention since the channel blew up.
We did one.
When we had about 20,000 subs.
And we still got recognized.
Yeah, it was so freaking weird. It was a pretty small convention. It was, general pop culture. And we're walking around, people are like, oh my God, I recognize the voices. It's Clownfish.
I was looking at dolls, and it's like, oh, look, fresh full hair.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I knew it was you. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're still scheduled. I'm not going to say what that event is right now. Maybe I'll mention it later. I don't know. We'll see. But we're still scheduled to be at that one. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but it has not been canceled again. It's in June. But other than that, we haven't been... But, I know my Pinky Boo was saying to me today how she wants to go to conventions. And she goes, I really want to go to some conventions. She's like, but I just want to go. I don't want to be set up there.
Yeah, we did. Our poor kids, my God, for years. I mean, I felt like a freaking carny. Like, every weekend, we'd be going to another convention. We had our whole setup, the display, the whole thing. We knew the drill. After a while, we lost track of like which ones we were going to. It was like they all kind of blurred together. But for a lot of people, especially, creatives who work in comics, it is necessary because the page rates are not good in the comic book industry. So a lot of times you got to go, you got to sell prints, you got to do commissions, you got to sell your pop culture flea market crap just to make it. And now we did better than a lot of people.
We did actually. That was thanks to me, but that's
that was thanks to Geeky.
So I made stuff that was really cool. But anyway,
but I mean, I can't imagine just having that snapped away. I mean, just gone.
Yeah, that's what happened. I mean, because that could have been us a few years ago.
It could have been us. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm hoping they come back because I know people get mad about stuff, but I really, really love anime conventions. I love comic conventions, pop culture conventions. I don't love everything about what everybody else loves. I don't always have to agree with everybody, but I really love the events because there's just something about them. They're exciting. And I love watching the stuff people create. I love watching the cool costumes because the amount of work and the amount of, skill and then some of the stuff is just fantastic. And, you can still get excited about stuff when you see it online, but it's much cooler in person. Yeah. And then you get to see some of these actors that you respect and appreciate and people that maybe draw the comics you like or whatever. And I love them. I would hate to see them go away.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, this is going to be really sad. I mean, I think eventually we'll see a rise in conventions again, but I think we're going to have significantly fewer events. I think at least for the next couple of years. So, I mean, if you're working in the con scene, I think at this point you better find something else. I'm going to be completely honest because
just a backup, just
as a backup. So this is interesting. I saw this from Yahoo of all places. Taiwan CDC turns diseases into anime characters, including COVID-19. So we gotta look at these. Look at these. These are interesting. This one is syphilis.
Oh.
Little Bo Peep. Infected your sheep. This is the plague. She's actually pretty badass.
That makes sense because it has like the plague doctor type heads on it.
Yeah. This is the bastard causing bastard bitch causing all the problems today. This is COVID-19. COVID-19's got deer antlers for some reason and big boots. We've got, see what's this, quarantine. We've got, I don't know, they have a whole bunch of diseases, but it was pretty interesting that they're like, let's take serious serious illness and turn them into anime characters because,
Well, I was thinking of, cells at work, but they at least make them look creepy and disturbing. So, yeah, they even said
They said, eager to reach a younger audience beyond the echo chamber of its mostly middle-aged Facebook following, the CDC in Taiwan.
Wait, this is this is it.
Yeah, since 2018 has tapped artists to illustrate what calls personified disease characters in a series of public health messages inspired by cells at work. It's always been a challenge to communicate with the general public about diseases as the topic is rather hard to follow. They wanted to package the information in a more friendly way. So what does herpes look like? What does prostate cancer look like?
I don't know.
Genital warts?
Can we just stop? We're ahead.
This is... Syphilis is a garter-wearing shepherdess in a nod to the stricken shepherd boy named Syphilis in the poem, which gave the sexually transmitted virus its name. There we go, guys.
So they have actual merit, historical, educational value.
She's edutaining. I just thought this was interesting. This didn't warrant its own video, but there's the bitch behind it all, right here. COVID is the bitch. Maybe she'll go in the thumbnail.
Is it a girl or is it?
Coronavirus. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to tell if it's a guy or a girl by the top.
It's I don't know. It looks like a girl.
Well, it could be bitch either way.
That's right.
It's like I've met some male bitches, don't worry.
Male bitch. Okay, so are we gonna wrap this one up?
Yes.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.